Now that is what you call maximizing your day in the Kruger National Park. Right, good morning. No, that is not the sun, that is the full moon. It's just after 6 a.m. As you can see, the sun is starting to think about waking up there behind me on a beautiful morning. It's Friday, it's the 25th of June, which also happens to be my dear mom's birthday. So yeah, we've got reasons to celebrate today. The mission for today is to find 8 elephants. She was a big elephant fan. She loved the Ellies. It was probably her favorite animal, and I thought it was fitting, seeing as it's her birthday today, to go in search of at least 8 elephants. So happy birthday, Mom, wherever you are. I'm sure you're having a glass of red wine and enjoying the day with us. For everyone else, welcome to what will be hopefully an epic drive this morning. It's quite a long one. We're going to go down to pretty much the Timbavati area, so along the river, and there's a Timbavati picnic spot. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be another warm day. I mean, the moon's still got quite a way to go before it completely clears the sky and makes way for the sun. But there's not many clouds. There's a little bit of mist in the air. So maybe that's just because I was right on the river last night, so it's probably just the moisture from the river that's creating that mist. But nevertheless, temperature wise, it's set to be 28 degrees, so another very warm day, and I'm sure it's going to be a cracker. So yeah, sit tight, enjoy the views, and let's see what we see. hear a couple of restless baboons. In fact, I can just see the one now. Have a listen to this. Good morning, boys. Beautiful. We really have been lucky with kudu over the last 2 days. Impala rams running around, snorting, having a bit of a game in the morning. Good to see. So at first I thought these impalas were being chased by something. I grabbed the camera, and then they just started running around in circles, stretching their legs and bouncing around, obviously having a game. But I thought there's a predator somewhere, something's about to go down here. I grabbed the camera, and then they just started, you know, running around in circles and bouncing around. Funny to see. Didn't see much at the Pitkroble Dam, so we're moving on to the next stop. I think it's going to be the Timbavati Picnic spot. So I think that's coming up in about 5 or 6 kilometers time. So we'll stop there, have a coffee, get out, stretch the legs. Okay, so I've reached the Ratelpan hide. I thought the next stop was the picnic spot, but it's worthwhile just checking out what this hide has to offer. So let's have a look. Okay, so I'm about to leave the hide now. Saw a couple of interesting birds, a couple of spotted thickneys on the other side of the water. What I think was the African harrier hawk, which was quite cool, in a tree opposite where I was sitting. And then the brown-headed bush shrike, which was quite cool. So we're now going to move on to the Timbavati picnic site, and we'll have another stop there. So as much as I said I wanted to spot 8 elephants today, I'm yet to see an elephant, which is crazy because I've seen thousands of elephants, maybe not thousands, but definitely tens, maybe in the hundreds up until now, every single day. And on the day I set out to find 8 elephants, I've yet to find a single one. But I'll keep looking. Okay, so I just stopped at the Timbavati picnic spot, and on my way out there was a couple who were struggling with a flat tire. Their Fortuner that they rented a couple of days ago seemed to have a flat rear tire, so I stopped to help them get it fixed. Anyway, the point of the story is just got chatting to the guy, and we did our Karoo to Cape mountain bike race in May, and this guy noticed the decals on my car and kind of said, hey, I've heard about that race, and he's from the Grabo area. Anyway, we got talking, and turns out it's a small world, because the guy who helped us build the trails, Peter, well, this guy knows him fairly well, and he's a farmer in the area, in the Elgin Valley. And one of the places we stayed at was we didn't stay at this place. We went there for dinner, a place called Old Mac Daddy's, which is down in the Elgin Valley. And turns out that this guy that I helped is the neighbor of the guy at Old Mac Daddy. So yeah, how's that for a small world? Anyway, we managed to get his tire fixed. I need to put my seatbelt on. We managed to get his tire fixed. I put a plug in there. And also, as luck would have it, while I was packing for my trip, my dad used to have an old air compressor that basically runs off the car lighter. So I chucked that into the boot when I was packing the other day. And you know, not anticipating needing to use it, but yeah, it's luckily I chucked it in the boot because it came in handy today. And we managed to sort this guy's tire out, so he's back on the road, and that's my good deed for the day. Let's go find some elephants. Here's our first elephant of the day. Here's elephant number 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I made it all the way down to Satara, and I'm actually on my way north again, back up to Olifants Camp. It's 12:30, so it's been a long morning. Still looking for the elusive 4 remaining elephants to make the 8 for today's challenge, but I'm sure we'll come across them soon. But I think before, while we're talking, game spotting, the one thing we haven't seen, and when I say we, Karen and I didn't see it last week, and I certainly haven't seen any, in the couple of days that I've been here without her, and that's rhinos. Now, we've seen rhino anti-poaching staff being dropped off. When we were down in the open area, we came across at least 2 or 3 patrols where the guys were dropped off in pairs, at different locations, and obviously they patrol the bush looking for poachers or anything that's been snared, looking for tracks. and any signs of poaching in that area, and hopefully trying to ward it off. Now, I think, you know, when we spoke to the game ranger at Timbavati Lodge, he said that, you know, one of the easiest ways into the park is via Manuletti, because, you know, there's no fence there. It's open, you know, poachers literally, you know, basically walk through Manuletti straight into Kruger Park, and so that area is a bit of a hotspot, and I guess that explains the, you know, the 3 or 4 anti-poaching patrols that we saw on foot. But that being said, I mean, I've been now, it's now day 9 in the park, and I'm yet to come across a rhino. Now, I don't know whether they're being specifically, you know, kept in certain places of the park, or whether they're, you know, it's being controlled in such a way that they remain out of sight, and as a result remain out of, I guess, less risk of being poached. Maybe that is the case, I don't know. I haven't read or I haven't heard anything to that effect. And I know, you know, obviously the war on rhinos is rife at the moment, and, you know, they are endangered and they're hugely protected, and, you know, it's sad what's happening to them. But you always still see them, you still come across them in the game parks, and I'm surprised. It's, you know, this is one of the biggest, this is the biggest game park that we have, national park. I've seen everything that I would expect to see in the park, okay, except for probably cheetah and obviously rhino. I've been to Kruger before and I've seen rhino. You know, I did a walking safari a good 10-12 years ago, and we actually came across rhino on foot. And so, you know, this is their natural habitat. This is where you would expect to find them. Haven't seen them yet. I'm going to do some reading and find out, you know, whether there's more of a reason for that. Are they being kind of moved around? Are they being, I don't know, removed or protected in other parks and then potentially brought back when when the poaching is under control? I'm not sure what the reason is. Maybe it's just luck. Maybe, you know, maybe they are around and I haven't seen them. Obviously, all the sighting boards that you see in the camps, it's not, you know, it's not cool to, well, A, you can't do it, but B, you know, it's not really good practice to point out where, you know, you have seen rhino, and that's just an extra measure in place, you know, to ensure that their locations are not revealed and that poachers don't have the intelligence to go and find out, you know, where they are. I guess the anti-poaching and, you know, the park in general is making it as difficult as possible to find rhino, and, you know, that obviously has an impact on people like us, and, you know, guys like me who are just cruising the park trying to spot them, and, you know, not coming across them. Given the situation, given the fact that they are endangered, it's probably a good thing. You know, if I'm not spotting them, hopefully no one is spotting them, and they're in that way they're being protected to some extent. But yeah, I thought it was just something worth talking about, because it is strange. You always see rhino when you go to the game parks, and it's been noticeable now. Even if I did come across rhino, you know, I probably wouldn't film them. You know, putting this video out on YouTube in a week or maybe 2 weeks time is not going to do any damage. You know, the rhino would have moved on from the location that I spotted it. But I guess just from a good practice, you know, make sure that you're not giving away any locations whatsoever. I wouldn't film them, but you know, I'm just kind of being completely transparent. I haven't seen any rhino. You know, maybe they're around, maybe I'm just not seeing them, but I certainly haven't seen any yet. And like I say, maybe in the grand scheme of things, maybe that's not a bad thing if they're out of sight. For me, hopefully they're out of sight for poachers too. But yeah, I'll keep my eyes open. Another zebra crossing on the main road. Got to stop for that. That's elephant number 5. Elephant number 6 and 7 coming up. And there we go, that's elephant number 8. So mission accomplished. Happy birthday, Mom. I know you would have loved the Ellies on your birthday. That's 8 Ellies for the 8 birthdays that we've missed. Yeah, happy birthday. Okay, it's that time of the afternoon, time to head out for a sundowner. I'm not going to go far, probably 10 k's down the road. There's a little lookout viewpoint, so I'm going to head there now. And I've got the cooler box packed. It's full of ice and a beverage or two. Got the snack bag on hand. And yeah, what's left to be done is to enjoy the last 2 hours of the sunlight, see what we can see, watch the sun go down, and really just yeah, just reflect on what's been an awesome day. And if we happen to see anything, that's always a bonus. So yeah, sit tight, enjoy the views. Okay, so while we're driving, if you ever plan on visiting Kruger, just in terms of timing and distances, there's a couple of things just to be aware of. So the speed limit on the main roads, the tarred roads, is 50 kilometers per hour max. So if you're traveling from one camp to the next, I guess you should probably average on about 35 to 40 k's per hour. You're not gonna average 50 all the way between points, because inevitably you're gonna stop to view something. There's going to be an elephant crossing the road. So I've kind of planned on 30 to 35 k's an hour on the main roads when I'm traveling between camps or between points on tar, and that's worked out pretty well so far. And then if you're on the dirt, the speed limits on the dirt are they're 30 k's per hour. In some sections where it's like a wide dirt road, you can they actually increase the limit to 40 k's per hour, but on general it's 30 k's per hour. And I would say, you know, for planning purposes, you should probably average that out at between 15 to 20 k's per hour, because, you know, if it's not something crossing the road, it's a little drift that you're going to have to cross, and you're going to slow right down for that, or there might be a little rocky section that you're going to have to slow down so that you don't ruin your wheels. So yeah, I would say 15, maybe 20 k's per hour on the dirt roads, and 35 k's per hour on the tar roads is what you should plan on. And any of the guidebooks and, you know, all the maps at the camps have kind of, you know, point-to-point markings with distances between each of those points, so you can generally work out how long you're going to be traveling for. So yeah, that's just a good tip. If you're planning a trip here and you're wondering about how long it's going to take to get from, you know, one section to the other, after doing, we're on 1,450 kilometers in the park, I've managed to work out those averages, so you don't have to. Okay, so this is our stop for Sundowners this afternoon. It's the Nwamanzi lookout, which basically looks out over the Olifants River. And yeah, I couldn't think of a more fitting place to stop and have some sundowners. We have about, wow, sure, maybe 30 elephant in the Olifants, funny enough, crossing and playing in the water at the moment. Have a look at this. Okay, my quick count puts that at 42 elephant. I think that's a record for me. Beautiful. Hopefully you can see that clearly, but all those elephants are crossing in a line, single file, one behind each other. It's incredible. So I don't know if you can hear that, but there's some angry elephants up ahead. There's another FJ Cruiser down the road, and I think the elephants are coming out close to where he is, and yeah, there's lots of trumpeting and noise. Lucky I'm on this side. They're heading away from me, but you can hear it. Pretty much proceeding down the road, pushing those cars back. I saw 2 or 3 cars back up behind that FJ, and there's a noise in the bush here next to me, so I just need to be prepared to move. Wow, close encounter with the Ellies. I turned my engine off, and I think that helps, you know, just being dead quiet. They don't see you as a threat, and they just kind of move away. But I definitely stopped on the right side of this little crossing, because they're all walking away from me. I can hear noises in the bushes next to me, so I'm just going to sit tight for another minute or two, in case something just charges out. So let's give it another minute or so. Okay, I can hear a car approaching from behind, so I'll just give him a warning. Okay, there's a guy right in the bushes here. The car behind me is lucky he's turned his engine off. But this guy's grumbling. Okay, the guy behind me is backing up. So I don't know what he's seeing. Still lots of trumpeting to the right. Okay, here come the cars from the other side. I think we're probably good to go now. So that was a little bit of excitement, eh? It caused a bit of a traffic jam in the Kruger National Park at 4:45 on a Friday afternoon. So the reason I came down, I was up on that hill, which I'm going back up to now, the viewpoint. But the reason I came down was I heard this awful roaring sound, and I thought it was a buffalo being taken down. I still don't know what it was. It might have been one of those elephants just, you know, putting out the most shrieking trumpet sound that I've ever heard, piercing almost. I thought it was a you know, something in kind of a death cry, you know, the last sort of moments of a buffalo's life. And I thought it's probably happening down on the road, so I quickly took a drive down the hill. Literally, I mean, I could hear it right next to me, so I drove down the hill onto the road and wound down my windows, you know, giving a good listen. Couldn't hear anything. And then I suddenly heard the elephants rustling in the trees, and that's when I heard them trumpeting and kind of making a noise and coming through. So yeah, that's the reason I found myself down there. But yeah, pretty exciting actually. A little bit of a Friday afternoon adrenaline rush, I must admit. Anyway, we're back now at the viewpoint, and I'm gonna park here where it's a little bit safer, and we're gonna watch the sunset. Okay, so that's the end of the 25th of June. What a magnificent sunset over the river. The colors were just incredible. Yeah, after that little adrenaline rush with the elephants, it was awesome just to sit there for 20 minutes and watch the sun go down. And another fantastic day in the bush, to be honest. No predators today, but we did see some interesting things that we haven't seen before. We saw a couple of interesting birds, the harrier hawk, we saw the Cory bustard, We've been privileged with kudu, and just the elephant crossing in front of me here. Just hang on a sec. Seems like I've been caught up in elephant traffic all afternoon. But yeah, another good day. Like I said, lots of kudu again, which I love because they're one of my favorites. And yeah, I just started with a magnificent sunrise over the Olifants, and the sunset again over the Olifants. Just yeah, special day. Always a good day in the park, but today was extra special, and looking forward to what tomorrow holds. So I'm trying not to break the speed limit. Remember those limits I told you about earlier? But the gates close at 5:30 current time. Hopefully there's a little bit of leniency applied. Let's see.